Don't ever go with the flow. Be the flow.
Yeah.
And I don't need no middleman to talk but to my nigga.
Hey.
You don't understand. That's where we differ.
Yeah. Welcome to the We Differ Podcast, episode number 45 of the We Differ Podcast. I'm your host, Shell 456, alongside my beautiful, lovely, and amazing co-host, E. How you feeling this evening?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling good. A little hot in this drinkski, but I feel good.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. How was your well, first I want to start off with like my birthday celebration was just amazing. Yeah, like you along with my family and like just put together like a really good weekend for me. So like I definitely appreciate that. Lots and lots of fun.
I'm glad you appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely good times. But what was your highlight of the weekend? Like what was your favorite moment of the weekend?
Probably just being in, like, waking up in a hotel the next morning.
Waking up in the hotel next morning. Yeah. I like the restaurant and the painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister got this picture painted for me that was like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That was super dope.
Yeah. It was really thought out. She she gives good gifts and like she's a major planner, so
yeah,
it's dope.
Definitely. But yeah, let's just get right into this. We had some like dope albums drop over the weekend also. One of which being DJ Khaled album.
Mm-hmm.
Did you listen to the album?
I did in its entirety.
Did you like the album?
Bleak. Yeah, it was
All right.
underwhelming.
Underwhelming. All right, let me give you my perspective of like DJ Khaled and his albums. I love the idea of what Khaled be trying to do. Those type of albums is not for me. I need like real well put together albums by like, I don't like the, what are those albums called? Compilations. I'm not into compilations. They remind me of like soundtracks.
Yeah.
And I'm just not like, It's hard for you to get into a groove when there's so many different artists.
I totally agree. It's overwhelming, but the whole album was underwhelming because it wasn't that good to me.
It's just like the cohesiveness is just, that's what I need. That's what I was looking for. I need cohesiveness in an album. You know what I'm saying? Like how Kendrick album, one song spill into the next and stuff like that. Like that's how I rate albums. So this one for me is like, it's hard for me to rate. I do believe like Khaled is amazing. I think he's an amazing marketer. Like what the guy did, like I think he's amazing. I even think he's a great producer. You know what I'm saying? Like the records sound good.
Yeah,
they can all stand alone individually, but in the order of an album, it ain't really for me. And I just think he's really good at what he do. He's good at selling his product. And I'm always going to show up for like the Jay-Z verse. It's not like Days of DJ Clue where everybody going in on other people's beats and it's about skill. Like these are all people that make records. So everybody not necessarily trying to spit their hardest verse. They trying to make the best song, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's tough to listen to, you know what I'm saying? And then you got so many artists on one record and it's just different vibes. The vibes change all throughout and I think it was good. I can't even call it an album, even though it is an album. It sounds like a playlist. It's a great playlist.
Well, rate it.
As an album, I mean, I'm gonna give it out of 10. I'll give it a 4. Like a playlist, I'll give it an 8. Strong 8.5 because I do feel like it's a vibe. I feel like there's no records that I skip up until like the reggae record, and it's not
from
that,
there on though.
Yeah, I don't think I made it past that. And the reggae record, I like the voice tones on it, but I just didn't like the actual music, the beat behind the record.
Yeah.
All right, so let's kind of like, I want to break down one song, not even one song. I want to break down one verse. Not even break it down. I just want to give Jay his props. Jay's the GOAT. Shout out to Rick Ross and Lil Wayne. I think Lil Wayne killed on the record also. You know what I'm saying? I think Rick Ross killed too, but I just feel like maybe they didn't get the memo that Jay was going to be on it.
I feel like, all right, I do not remember a word from Ross's verse.
You don't remember like in the middle he said, God did?
Yeah, I remember that. Wayne, I feel like, Wayne was trying to talk his shit or whatever.
Yeah. Wayne was snapping. I like Wayne verse.
And like this is the first time I feel like Jay totally walked on. Like he body nigga, but he walked on that shit. Like on What's Free, like I remember Royce's verse, and like it was a good song. Everybody pulled their weight. I just can't say that because I genuinely just don't remember the niggas verses like that. You know what I mean? Now, of course, Jay had the best verse, but I'm hearing a lot of talk that this was Jay's best verse, and
all right, before you get to that, all right. So the talk comes from like Jay Engineer Guru.
And Khaled said that too.
And Khaled, because he's a genius marketer. You know what I'm saying? Like them saying that this is Jay-Z's best verse ever. And I honestly think like that shit was like, I think it was a marketing ploy to get people to tap into the album. Yeah, you can go on and say what you were going to say about the verse.
Yeah, I think.
About it being his best verse.
All right, so he slid for 4 minutes, right?
It might have been 5.
And the first time I heard it, I probably winded it back like 5 times because I couldn't grasp it. It was too much. In this day and age, I'm not even someone who has a really short attention span, but that was entirely too much for me. So, and it was like no breaks. Nigga didn't even stop to take no breath and shit. So it was too much for me. Even though like as it played more and more, I'm like, okay, Jay, you talking, but I don't hear the best verse ever. And then, I had to, a lot of times I dissect lyrics better when I look at the lyrics. So when I read them. And even then, I'm like, nah, this is not the best. So I'm standing on that. It's not his best verse. Yeah, of course, he's Jay. Of course, it's a good fucking verse. But I feel like consecutively for the last few years, Jay has been giving us crazy verses.
All right, I got a question. Do you think if Lil Wayne would have had the same length, the same time, if he'd had got the memo like, look, Jay gonna go on this bitch for 5 minutes, do you think like his verse would have ended up being better than Jay? Because I feel like Wayne, I mean, in the amount of time his verse was, he was killing.
Yeah, I mean, and then that's the thing too. Like we can't really compare it because the nigga slid for all that time. And I think that, I mean, we all know Wayne can go like in his prime. I don't know because since he did come out with an album a couple years ago, but that whole album, like, I mean, he did have some good verses, but it wasn't as good as.
I'm gonna go on record and say that this is the best Lil Wayne verse I've heard in years.
Okay.
Years.
You listened to his last
I listened
album,
to it,
right?
yeah. Well, the one with Rich the Kid, he was going on that. He was going on it. Like he was snapping, but like a lot of times to me, it sounded like Wayne is like rambling. You know what I'm saying? It's like that shit be dope. Like he be putting that shit together, but it sounded like he rambling. On this, it was like it seemed like he consciously knew what he was saying. Like he wanted to make a statement on the record. He wanted to,
like I'm not nigga and y'all niggas is followers.
Yeah,
That's
and
exactly
it was
said.
clear. Yeah,
yes.
It was really clear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I think Jay. I mean, I think that Wayne, he had something to. He had a statement to make, and it definitely was heard. Though I could not like give you a line from his verse, like. If I heard it, I could probably rap it. You know what I mean? Right now, I can't say anything, but I remember him talking about being the greatest and people following him and having like, like you my son, nigga. I remember that being the sentiment.
Yeah, he was snapping.
But Jay was very, I don't know. Like, why do you think it was that good of a verse to you?
All right. My opinion on this verse, I see a lot of people like, no, this is not Jay greatest verse ever. No, I don't believe it's Jay greatest verse ever. I think this is a top 15 Jay-Z verse. And that's saying a lot. You know, Jay be snapping on records from Reasonable Doubt until, his latest project. So like to put this verse in top 15 says a lot. I think it didn't sound like a regular Jay-Z verse. It sounded like it wasn't technically a good verse. Like technically meaning like his flow. Jay-Z usually have a flow, like, you know, he have a flow with him. This was more like it sounded like a freestyle style, like a stream of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? He was just going and going and going and going. But as he was going, I think with it not being a real technical verse and him not doing pauses and setting people up for punchlines, I think a lot of it
was missed.
Yeah, a lot of the material was just missed. Like the one line where he said, "I got it out the mud. They gotta face you. I can't make up this shit." You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I got it out the mud, facial. I can't make up this shit. Double and triple entendres. I feel like Jay-Z do that with all his records. And every time you go back, you're going to hear something new. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it spoke to me because I'm from that era. Simple lines is like, I made it out the dope game with a clean record. That's nuts to me. You know what I'm saying? Being somebody that ran it up to the amounts of money that he made in the streets and never being locked up. I think simple lines like that to a nigga like me is like crazy. Like, it's kind of like mind blowing because it's so much honesty in it.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. It was really, really simple. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about a Jay, like a best verse, mm-hmm. I'm thinking of complexity. Mm-hmm. And I think that even though he may have had all of those little subtle things in there mm-hmm. and whatever, mm-hmm. it still was simple. Like even mm-hmm. if the mud facial makeup, like that's still not top tier Jay-Z. Talk to me. I don't think so.
I don't think it's top tier technically, like technical rhyming, but I think this verse was something that nobody else in the world can spit, and I think that's what makes it special. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else in the world can say the things that he said on this record and be able to be fact checked. You know what I'm saying? Be able to be like, he popping shit, and he brought it from the beginning to the end. Like, he kind of wrapped up his whole life in a 5-minute verse, and I think that's the specialness of this verse. I think if you to give anybody a Jay-Z verse that never heard Jay-Z before to explain who Jay-Z is, this is the verse that they need to listen to, and that's why I rank it so high.
Okay, I feel like he's always talked about like making it out. Like it's mm-hmm. just like, I don't know. It just really wasn't great. Listen, mm-hmm. because I don't want to ever degrade it. Mm-hmm. Jay is my man's. Mm-hmm. Like I rank Reasonable Doubt my number one album. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I'm shitting on Jay or anything. Mm-hmm. It's just that like that's what I think of top Jay, mm-hmm. and this is just like
that's 100% like understandable. You know, it's all just a matter of opinion. Yeah. So I can't shit on people that's saying that. I mean, if you saying this is his best verse ever, it's hard to agree. It's hard to like not agree with. It's hard to disagree with that because, I mean, like I said, if is a person that never heard Jay-Z before, I think this is the verse you should let them hear. You know what I'm saying?
I think if you snap for that long, it's kind of like, it's understandable mm-hmm. because you snapping for that long and you talking shit. And he's an amazing shit talker. Like mm-hmm. he talks so filthy too. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, oh shit. Like mm-hmm. he would make you feel away. If I were a rapper mm-hmm. or like somebody from his past, like I would feel offended in every one of his verses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just crazy. And it's he left, I feel like he left Wayne and Ross
in the dust.
And it's just like, this man is 52 years old. You know what I'm saying? This is a 52-year-old man. So it's what he did was just amazing. Let's applaud the homie. Super, super amazing verse. The next album on the list that I want to review and is a kid. I think he's from Atlanta.
Yes.
J.I.D. I'm going to let you get your shit off on J.I.D. because I'm not exactly sure how you feel about this album. How do you feel about J.I.D. new album?
All right. So I've liked him and I've listened to him and I've really enjoyed his music. Mm-hmm. This album, I felt like his features were good. The kid Kitty Mason, his choruses, like he was sliding on them shits, and I just think that he went in and out of the pockets. It was good, but he was reminding me of a Born Smino. Like he was giving me Smino without the excitement. And a lot of the tracks were real nostalgic, but like too nostalgic. Like it was just like too like I want to chill and like, because I think you compared it to like Kendrick, and with Kendrick, I know a lot of times like I feel nostalgic when I listen to Kendrick, but he still has that excitement. He still like, it's like power behind the music. And I think this album was just like, a lot of songs were just too slow. He raps really, really well, but a lot of songs were just too slow. It was kind of boring. The lyrics are good, but it's, and I don't feel I hate to feel like I'm like downing people. And
no, I mean art is subjective. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is.
Yeah, the flow was on point, but I was like bored a lot of the album, and I listened a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the complete opposite direction. I think this album was fucking phenomenal. I think this is top 3 albums that I've heard this year. Kendrick being number 1, I'll put this at number 2, and Black Thought just put out a project about 3 weeks ago. I think the rapping on this is like stellar. Like I think this kid rap like
he skipped over damn Pusha. God damn.
Yeah, no. I think this is better than Pusha album. You know, I wasn't even really rocking with Pusha joint like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think the rapping is phenomenal on JID album. I think the beat selection is fucking spectacular.
Oh, that's what I didn't like.
Yeah, I think the beat selection is like spectacular. I think the songwriting, a lot of times when people rap like JID rap, the songwriting sometimes can lack because they rap so good. I feel like on this album, like he was making real records. And I love the way he jumped in and out of records. I love the way his voice come in, like the way he used his voice on these records, like how he get melodic. I loved all the features. And I think for somebody who's such, I would call JID a backpacker, for him to pull off a 21 Savage and Lil Durk feature, and that shit meshed well, where it was like seamless. Like he brought Durk into his world, and shout out to Durk, because Durk bodied it on a beat that I would never imagine Durk rapping on. 21 did what he always do, like he murder features.
Guy.
Even JID singing, I didn't know he was that good. Like I didn't know he was that good. I think he found himself. Because I heard other JID albums. I think in this album he kind of like found himself.
Yeah,
and
I do hear that.
Yeah, he's just so in pocket. Earth Gang, man, like he could be like a member of them. Like they all just spectacular. I think Cole probably got the coldest group of collectives in hip hop, and I think JID is like a star, man. Like I used to think, like, I feel like he can put together a hit record now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he can reach that next level.
I think that as far as like making a song, the songs were good or whatever, but I agree that he can make a song. But I don't think that he can make a hit song. Well, like I've heard him make hit songs with Dreamville and like, you know, like they're popping and like going like that. I like that. I think that maybe I'm not too fond of this style of rap, like but unless it's from like a Kendrick, because he brings the extra oomph to it.
Yeah. Kendrick.
And not to compare
I never, you said earlier I compared him and Kendrick. I didn't compare him and Kendrick.
You didn't?
No.
I thought you said that earlier.
No.
And not to compare it. Yeah. Not to compare him to Kendrick or anything, but I'm saying like if you're going to do like that style of rap, and for me it needs to have like an extra factor that I think he just lacks.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the factor
And
is,
another
but I
thing-
know Kendrick got it.
Another thing was like his storytelling. His storytelling is like, man, it was so good. It was a family record. The like,
Brothering them, sizzling them.
yeah, like just the family record, just the stories he was telling in that record. I mean, it just seemed like this record, this album, he put a lot of work into,
It does.
and it seemed like he was real meticulous with like the records, his voice, delivery. Like, man, I think he just crossed all the T's and dotted every I on his album, man. Like I can't really find many things to like fault in this album at all, man. Yeah, I think he just did a good job. Salute him. For sure. All right, on to other news. Recently, Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. We all know that, right?
A long time ago.
Yeah, it was pretty recent though.
That was a world ago.
How do you feel about this new Will Smith rollout? Like him coming back onto social media and trying to be outside again.
Yeah. I think it was definitely needed because you can't just do.
You think he needed the break?
I think he needed a break and people also needed a break from him. Yeah. I think that because to have such a break, like I'm saying
All right,
a break, like within yourself,
But hold
a
on,
mental
why?
break.
You think he needed a break because he walked on that stage and smacked
Yeah,
him in front of them
obviously.
white people?
Obviously something's going on for you to like jump out of character that much. So you kind of got to get yourself together, and when you're living in a life where you're under a microscope, you're with every action, everything that you do, you do have to disconnect. I think we have to disconnect as regular people from social. So I absolutely believe that he needed to, for
But
sure.
From the outside looking in, do you think like we really cared? Like honestly, like when it first happened, it was like a big thing. Like it was shocking, but I don't think we really cared.
I think that everybody cared. People who didn't even watch. What was it? It was the what award show was it?
It was the
Oscars.
Yeah.
People who didn't watch the Oscars. People, young people, old, like at least like let's say his movies, right? You may critique the movie, but you probably are into movies. Everybody critiqued this man. Like literally everyone. That's a heavy weight to like hold in your back. And yeah, like you gotta go back to the drawing board. You gotta like let family get you back together, your friends, whoever, because how inappropriate it was, I don't think people would have been as forgiving. And on top of that, him already being like this man who needs reassurance, who needs approval from people, people would have murdered him. Like he would have probably killed himself or some shit. Like, nah.
I don't think it would have been that deep. But I think
He
Will,
needed it.
I think Will, it was a point about 2 years ago where I was just watching Will Smith. It might have been around the time he got on Instagram. And I was just watching Will Smith and he was different. You know what I'm saying? He was like cursing and shit. I've never seen Will Smith like publicly curse, you know what I'm saying? And you know, like Will Smith is like an idol of mine from the same neighborhood and shit. So like I was watching him cursing and just like being a different type of Will. And in that moment, I'm like, man, I feel like he's trying to shake shit up. I feel like he's tired. He's tired of being a good guy. Then I saw an interview. He's like, you know, I'm just trying to change I don't want to be what these people want me to be. You know what I'm saying? I want to be me. I want to be able to feel how I feel. I want to be able to curse if I want to say fuck, I want to be able to say fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that was his mode. I think Will Smith definitely reached a tipping point, and I think he consciously did what he did. I think because when Chris Rock said the joke, Will laughed, and you know, there's a million people that talked about this already. So I'm gonna just skip over this part. But I think he did consciously do what he wanted to do in that moment, and I think like it was a freedom, like a relief. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think. I think after he did it, he kind of realized like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like I kind of fucked up. But in my eyes, like, what did he fuck up? You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly.
All right. So I think that, as I've said, him constantly looking for that approval from other people, I don't think he wanted to smack that man at all. I think he thought his wife wanted him to do something. So that's what he did. And so where you have your wife, now other people are mad at you. Like, I'll rather y'all motherfuckers be mad at me than her, probably. And of course, I don't think I don't know if he didn't think about it because that's a long walk.
Yeah.
But I think you said, what does he have to lose?
Yeah, honestly, what do we have to lose? Okay, you take away. I got my Oscar.
I think he lost some. And then they went back and maybe said like, oh, are we gonna revoke this reward from him? You remember?
Yeah, but they didn't. He got his Oscar.
All right, but he didn't know. So what did he lose? Let's put it so that he could have. Didn't they revoke like a deal or movie something?
He's a millionaire. A lot of times,
but he wants to work. He wants to continue to work. He doesn't want to be a problem. He doesn't want people to. That's the thing. He doesn't want people to look at him like this. He doesn't want to be a failure. He doesn't want to be a letdown. And in his eyes, letting people down, his fans, and you watch that to him. That's like, damn, I fucked up. He knows he's fucked up.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I think like this might be one of the best things that ever happened for Will Smith in his career, because I don't think we look at him as the perfect person anymore, like the cookie cutter, like perfect guy that he's always been and he always hated. You know what I'm saying? Like, made Grammys in music and people say, oh, he's the soft rapper. You know what I'm saying? Make millions in movies and you like the token black guy, like they got to smile and cheese every time you go into an interview. I think now Will Smith can be Will Smith right now in this moment, and I feel like a lot of the movie deals that got taken away from him from big studios and things like that, I feel like Will is his own infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Will can strike a deal with YouTube and do movies for YouTube.
Yeah, he can, but that's not what he was doing.
It's not what he was doing.
So.
It's definitely not what he was doing, but he can. You know what I'm saying? It's a new outlet now, like where he can do whatever he want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that them taking these movies away from him is really going to affect him. I feel like he's going to figure it out, and I feel like he's going to create a new career on top of whatever is going on, because he's still Will Smith. He's still a big star.
I don't think he's going to have to do that, because it's like, you make a mistake, the world is so forgiving.
Yeah, but the Academy is not. I don't think the Academy is going to let him back in. And if you can't make movies on that scale where you get, they awarded.
Just don't have to be nominated. Whatever. Those movies are still like, this was his first.
Yeah, but you won't get looks.
This was his first Oscar. So I don't think that's going to be the case.
But say you're a director, right? And everybody's dream is to get an Oscar. And if you got Will Smith in the lineup of your movie, I think that's going to make people like, nah, let's not get Will Smith because he can't even get nominated. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I think those big looks are going to be taken away from him. But I do think he can reshape the way the movie industry look, because he's that big of a star. And he can think outside the box and make movies for Facebook.
But did they ban him? Because I know it was talks. How long?
I think 10 years. Yeah, so he done. He done. But there's other opportunities. He might become the biggest star in the metaverse now. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was needed, man. It's needed for growth, man. Shout out to Will Smith from my neighborhood. Shout out to my guy. and last but not least, are y'all back on the R. Kelly bandwagon? Did I see you shake a leg? You shook a leg, right?
Never hopped off.
You definitely never hopped off the Kelly bandwagon. Yeah. No, but it is R. Kelly unbanned? Like, can we listen to R. Kelly music again? I mean, like,
you tell me. Like, I mean, you never stopped either, but you tell me.
But people are dancing to him on TikTok. Like,
I think a lot of people don't even know that that's that man's song.
it says R. Kelly at the bottom when you pick it.
A lot of people don't know that that's that man's song.
Yeah, I think everybody knows that that's R. Kelly's song, and I think that we giving R. Kelly a pass, and it is what it is. I think because he's locked up now, it's like, okay, we can celebrate and we can play R. Kelly music again.
I think a lot of the people on TikTok who are doing the TikTok dances are younger, and if they are doing those dances and they are older, they weren't the people who attempted to say, "Oh, we're not fucking with R. Kelly in the first place."
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think that at all.
Yeah,
I think like R. Kelly, like they were supposed to take his music down from platforms.
Wait, did you understand what I just said?
What you saying that the people that's dancing, everybody that's dancing to his music is not the people that said he got, that said they wouldn't listen to him anymore.
Wait, and then you said that they were supposed to take him off the platform, but I'm not talking about like the higher ups who were supposed to remove all the music, like the kids who are doing these dances, these teenagers. I don't think they ever gave a damn about what R. Kelly did.
But what about the grown folks?
Even the grown folks, like they probably, if they're dancing to this song, they probably didn't care from the beginning. They probably were like me, like didn't cancel him. You know what I mean?
My theory, and let me just have a stream of consciousness. My theory is that R. Kelly is unbanned because of the popular dance on TikTok and everybody shaking a leg. I think that shit is up, and I think that because he's locked up, like it's safe to tap his music on your phone and shake a leg to it again. Like I think R. Kelly's back popping again.
Yeah, I think it was never unsafe. I think it was always up.
I think what R. Kelly did was wrong, and I don't want to make it seem like I think what he did was right, but I think people are okay with listening to his music again, and it's kind of proven being his music going viral and everybody shaking their leg to it. And that shit's a bop. It's a bop. And you want to know my conspiracy theory for this? This is my conspiracy theory. I think that his team did what they had to do to make that song go viral because, those are streams. And R. Kelly kind of broke right now. And I think they're going to make that thing go viral enough to be able to pay for his appeal. That's how I feel about it. I feel like it's a conspiracy. And they just trying to get these streams up. And y'all out here shaking a leg and y'all paying for R. Kelly appeal. And if you get out, y'all going to be pissed. That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. That was episode number, what was that, 45?
Yes.
Of the We Differ Podcast. I'm your host, Shell 456, and we are out.
Peace.